somebody else and bring somebody else into it just because you're a coward and don't want to come out with how you really feel about your best friend.
It's a tricky dynamic because, like it wasn't like he always felt this way about his best friend, but maybe he did. I don't live in this guy's head, right?
Only because he said he knew his best friend always felt the way. So then that's not really your best friend. That's somebody that has a crush on you and you kept them around till you had the courage to say something to them, and you still don't. You set aside.
See, I think it's that same type of energy and those same type of societal norms that probably kept him like where he was for all this time.
What? Lying to a woman?
Lying to, most importantly, himself.
Himself, but you brought somebody else into it. So no, less importantly.
But if you act on it, the cookie is still in the jar.
But if you mess up your own life, that's one thing. But when you dragging other people into it, you gonna devastate this woman. Come on now.
I mean, what do you think is more devastating? Finding out like, hey, you weren't quite what he wanted the whole time, or the fact that he switched up after you already had him?
I think they're both just as equally hurtful. Like, you come on. Like, now all of a sudden, you're with your best friend who's been around this whole time. Like, I would feel deceived.
Yeah, there are no winners in this situation, but let's see if Alexis can make sense of it all. What up?
My sister's boyfriend, she just found out that he has some other tendencies as well. I think it's for her too, she's always said she would never deal with a bisexual man. But I feel like, depending upon the person and the kind of care that you have for that person, you'd be more open-minded to certain things. But you need to tread lightly. You need to tread very lightly.
So, what did your sister do when she found out?
Well, she's known him since she was about like 13, 27 now. So she felt like she had to be open-minded because before she found out, it was like two people that seeing each other every day. So she's trying to keep the normalcy going. But it was difficult because, you think about it. As a female, you want to think about the person that you're with has been with in the past. So as a woman, it's difficult thinking like, all right, dang, you've been with this woman and that woman. So of course it's going to be difficult thinking you've been with this woman and possibly that man. And regardless of what he says, she's going to think probably that something was going on before he told her.
And I will agree, like, once you have a certain connection with somebody, you look at things from a different lens. Mm-hmm. Like, I know when I was younger, I always said, like, I would never, like, when people would ask this question, because this question comes up often, like, I would never mess with a guy that messes with guys. But then I was telling you earlier, I went out with Jason Lee one day. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. And Jason Lee's very open about his sexuality, and he's always around a lot of handsome men. So one of the guys was around, whatever. He's like hitting on me, flirting. And I'm like, okay, Jason, this one cute right here. Like, what's his name? He's like, yeah, like he played for both teams. And I was like, does he? But I'm like, wait a minute, what? It changed. It changed a lot because he was like a nice looking man, charming, like just everything. And I guess one foot in the situation, your answer might be a little different. You never know.
I can kind of see that, because usually, it's not the same, but in a similar space. I've dated women in the past that later on came out as gay, right? And
you made them turn gay?
No, it wasn't me. One of them was like, how did I not see a sign? Because I will openly admit, like, my radar antenna is broke. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just don't. Right? And then another one actually shocked me, but I knew I wasn't.
I don't believe it.
It's probably other terrible people that you, that's what, after me. But, you never know when people are going to kind of hit that speed bump to where they decide to, switch over. Now,
they don't
say since he was 13 and you couldn't pick up on any of the signs, it just goes to show that sometimes you just don't know, or people are just that so much folded into themselves that they're just trying to do what they feel like society wants them to do. And then sometimes you build up the courage to break free.
I mean, listen, just do what makes you happy, but try not to hurt others in the process.
Which is hard to do, especially when you married that person, right? And it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation, but do you want to have an uncomfortable conversation or uncomfortable life, Aaron? And I think, now, it's time to drop the flag and say what you mean and so hit us up, let us know how it worked out for you, because we really want to know the follow-up on this, man. Drop a comment on For the Morning Hustle Show, IG. We appreciate y'all calling. Get ready for that load. What's up?
That's right. It looks like both Usher and Tank have some words to Diddy, so he may want to lean his ear in, but I heard he apologized, and I'll tell you about it all coming up in the lowdown.
Oui, musique.
There's nothing